Hi, welcome to TNT. It's the 4th of September and appreciate your time. We hope to bring you up to date with some of the main stories around Thailand, including this one. And this has been bubbling away since last March when a Swiss man in Phuket allegedly kicked the back of a young Thai doctor. Well, the court handed down its decision. Interestingly, the way it's been headlined by the publications in Thailand, let's go through them. Starting with the Bangkok Post, who say Phuket court finds Swiss beach bully innocent of kicking doctor. But slightly different legal language here from ThaiPBSWorld.com. Swiss man in Phuket acquitted of assaulting doctor. And we go to Capsized English and they say father urges Dr. Pai to stay strong as Phuket court dismisses expat kicking case. And then the PhuketNews.com, Swiss expat Urs Fear found not guilty of assault. So bottom line, he's free to go. It's all legal jargonese, but interesting the way that all four publications used slightly different legal terminology. But let's go into what's happened. We read the CapsideEnglish.com report, which I think is the best. And the court dismissed the case against David, his real name's Urs Fear, an expat living in Phuket who allegedly kicked and assaulted Dr. Pai due to reasonable doubt. Yesterday, the Phuket Provincial Court handed down a verdict in the case of Dr. Tandao Chandam, also known as Dr. Pai, 26, who sued David, who's 45, a Swiss national and owner of an elephant sanctuary in Phuket, for assault. And the incident occurred when David allegedly kicked Dr. Pai in the back on February the 24th at Yamu Beach in Thailand district. The court dismissed the case against the defendant David on the grounds that there was reasonable doubt in his favour. Now, one interesting part of this whole case has been that all we've heard from Dr. Pai has basically been from her father and legal representatives. You sort of get the feeling that there might be something going on. I continue reading. Kasem Chandam, the father of Dr. Pai, stated that he accepted the court's decision. He has spoken with his daughter and says she's stressed, which made him concerned about her mental state. His daughter is also afraid of being countersued, so he told her not to be swayed. Let's go to some reporting from Thai PBS World. Due to a lack of evidence, the Phuket Provincial Court acquitted a Swiss man today, that's yesterday, who's been charged with assaulting a female Thai doctor when she'd allegedly trespassed on his property. And down the bottom, the court found there was insufficient evidence to support the assault charge and ordered his acquittal. And going to some reporting from the PhuketNews.com, Kasem Chandam, Dr. Tandao's father, told the press yesterday that Dr. Tandao is saddened by how things have turned out. He said she's taking time to decide whether to continue with legal action or let it go, needing some space to gather her thoughts. At the moment, she's not ready to make any moves. And the case reignited debate online with renewed doubt about the court's decision. The controversy centres on Fair's wife's claims, there's a good lesson in apostrophes, of connections with senior Phuket police officers, raising questions about the integrity and transparency of the case. It remains unclear whether Fair will face deportation now the court has cleared him of the charge. So, plenty of questions to ask. Now, the Immigration Department in Phuket revoked David Urs Fear's visa back in April this year, following comments from the then Interior Minister, currently the caretaker Interior Minister, Aniton Charvitakun, about the case. I would have thought those comments would have been considered sub judice, but anyway, that's for the courts to decide. But of course now he's had his case dismissed. So does he get his visa back? Can he sue Phuket Immigration? So that's just one question. The other thing is there's going to be a lot of comments in the media today, and I'm sure plenty of comments online from you, and that's fine. The thing to remember is regarding this case is no matter how much you know or you think you know about the case, no matter if you're on his side or against him, you weren't in the court yesterday, and you haven't heard all the evidence. So I think you need to consider that when making any comments about the case. Now, even the video, which I must have seen 20 or 30 times, is quite unclear as to what exactly happened, if he did, as he claimed, fall over, or if he did kick the woman in the back, or if he kneed her in the back. So there's plenty to be asked here, and I think it's fair to ask those questions, but I don't think any of us can make any final comments about the legality or the outcome of this case because we weren't in the court yesterday. Mind you, I'm sure many of you are going to have your comments on the case, and that's fine. Remember that there is a thing in Thailand called contempt of court, so I don't want you directing any of your comments towards the court or the judge. Right, time to head to Pattaya now. They've had plenty of rain. 3-hour downpour floods Pattaya, damages dozens of vehicles. And this is from last night. The downpour caused water levels to rise rapidly, leading to widespread flooding as the drainage system failed to cope with the deluge. Again, several areas were severely affected, particularly locations prone to flooding after just 30 minutes of continuous rain. So, the same usual suspects: Pattaya 3rd Road, Sukhumvit Road near South Pattaya Highway, and the road along the railway. And watching some video footage from the YouTube channel Pattaya Paradise, and this is shot in somewhere in Soi Bukhao. So out with the hairdryer, dry off those bikes, they'll be fine. Yeah, plenty of water up there. So they had rain, big rain on Sunday night, and also, last night Tuesday. So plenty of heavy rain up around Pattaya. Hope everybody is okay. We've had our share of rain down here, but nothing like the deluges that you've been suffering up there. Right, to our next story and a bit of an update on the dogs, the American bully dogs, which are a separate and distinct breed from pit bull terriers, which we've spoken about before, sadly far too often. All right, Thai PBS World reports killer dogs been given away, and the owner of 3 American bully dogs, which mauled his 18-year-old brother to death in Lopburi's main city district, will give them away to anyone interested. And the man, who's also a police officer, said although he loves the dogs, he can no longer keep them. Some organisations and individuals have contacted him, expressing their interest in adopting the dogs. Apisit said he's considering these requests and will make a decision soon. So no matter what side you take on this, I think it is time for the authorities to step in. There's been an 18-year-old killed by the dogs, and I think the authorities need to be making the decisions on what happens to these dogs in the future, not the policemen. All right, to our next story, and we head up to the far north of Thailand. And 20 missing after a boat capsizes on raging Mekong River in Chiang Rai. This reported by Thai PBS World. About 20 people from Myanmar remain missing in the swollen Mekong River after their long-tailed boat carrying 40 passengers capsized on Monday evening. Now, other boats rushed to the rescue. They managed to pluck 20 of them to safety. The ill-fated boat was carrying about 40 Burmese passengers from Laos towards Takilek in Myanmar. And as it notes, that's right across the border from Thailand's Chiang Rai province. The boat's engines suddenly stopped working, leaving the skipper unable to navigate the strong currents in the swollen river, and the boat eventually capsized. So let's have a little bit of a look at this area we're talking about. A bit going on here on the map. Down here we've got Thailand and Chiang Rai. That's the city of Chiang Rai. Then we've got these border areas which I've drawn in red. The part over here which I've sort of striped white, that's Myanmar. Up here we've got Laos, and then below, as I mentioned, we've got Thailand. The blue is the Mekong River. And when it reaches the border of Thailand, I've marked in yellow the part of the Thai border, which is actually the Mekong River up there in the north, before it then starts meandering through Laos. Well, hoping like hell that some of those Burmese people were plucked out of the water later or found their way to shore. The Mekong River does join the Thai border a bit further south, but at the moment it is quite swollen with water flooding down from China into Laos. Right, from the far north of Thailand to Krabi. And the PattayaNews.com reporting crackdown in Krabi. 65 people arrested as special ops raid illegal gambling dens. And the Department of Provincial Administration, their special operations team launched a raid operation in the city area of Krabi and also Playa district in Krabi. And the Special Operations Team swiftly conducted a raid, arresting 65 people, including dealers and gamblers, and seizing over 500,000 baht in cash, with daily transactions exceeding 1 million baht. And the Director General of the provincial organisation disclosed that local residents allegedly identified the two dens as being controlled by a former prominent local politician who held a monopoly on gambling operations in Krabi and prohibited other competitors. However, the rival den in Pattaya challenged this monopoly, offering transportation and 3 meals per day to attract gamblers from nearby provinces, sparking tensions. The Krabi gambling den allegedly retaliated by sharing incriminating footage online to undermine the competition. Might have started attracting attention. And the Director General said there's no gambling den in Thailand that the Department of Provincial Administration's Special Operations Team is afraid to shut down. Maybe a lost opportunity there. Could have had Thailand's first casino in Krabi. Big thanks to 5-Star Marine, 5starmarinephuket.com, and Beach House Thailand. And we've got links in the description for the 4 beach houses. Yeah, it's 4 now, and I've got paint all over me. And also 5-Star Marine with a special deal for viewers of TNT. Did I mention subscribing to the channel? Yeah, I probably did. We'll see you Thursday.